Alright, so we're back at it here. This is after the updates were done. You can see we got the printer fired up. This is actually a stand for a hot glue gun. Came across the print files for and thought it was pretty cool, so decided to bang that out today. In any case, after that last video, you can see that glass bed is on there and the red wheels, and painted some of these covers, and this here is because I never remember which way to turn these wheels to adjust the bed, so we put that on there. Put a little cover on the belt end here so we don't run into stuff there, and put a cover here on the power supply fan so that's all protected out the back, and painted some of this so that it's black. Added a support arm here, which allowed us to, this is that tube that the plastic feeds through. You know, it comes stock and it's connected to all these wires. So that extra support allows you to separate those two things. So that's a little better for the machine. Added that because I thought it was appropriate. Whole thing still kind of freaks me out that you can just do this on your bench. But yeah, after that last video, had some growing pains, probably the first big issue that I had with this machine. And essentially what happened is the clamps that I had on this new glass plate, you can see they're just binder clips, but the clips that I had on there weren't up to the task. And I combined that with some adhesion problems where it didn't stick to the bed, and long story short, I had to replace this. This is what they call the hot end, and that's the nozzle there. And you can see here on the side, there on the left, that's where those two big thick red wires, that's the heating element. And then underneath that screw that's sticking out the side there, that's a thermocouple. And what that thermocouple does is it tells the machine, if you can see here where it says 210, that thermocouple tells it that that nozzle's at 210 degrees centigrade. So what happened is, well, I don't know, I just saw the heinous result of this whole thing was caked in plastic. The build plate there moved, and it just slagged the whole end. Had to order a new one. It wasn't terribly expensive, but to do that, you got to take all that wiring out. You got to take this cover off. You got to kind of monkey around with the circuit board under there, pull all the wires through. It was a little bit of a project. It's not going to happen again. I fixed all of that. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I don't know where I'm going next with it. I'm real happy with the way things are working. Something that drives me a little bonkers is there's a little chip, a micro SD card here, and that's what you plug into the computer. And I don't know, with these big paws, it's just sometimes hard to deal with that chip, so they sell like an adapter to go to a full-size SD card, but it's not a real big concern. Oh, I know the other change. After that whole thing, you might be able to see there's a ring around that nozzle now. Let me pull that up on the computer. The stock fan mounts just like this here, and where this ring is attached is just an opening, and it blows cool air across that hot end, and it cools the plastic as it extrudes. Well, of course, it's only hitting it from this side. So I came across this part. Let me zoom in a little bit. and you print it at a real fine resolution. Look at it from the bottom here, and you can see it's got 8 ports, and it blows air evenly all the way around that nozzle as you're printing, and that really made a big difference. I saw that right away. Things smoothed out, and especially on the initial layers, they were a lot smoother. So yeah, it blows from this fan here on the side. You can see that part here on the bottom. These hard ones all moving around, but you're looking at it essentially from that side, and it fits right in there. So little stuff like that. Yeah, and then came across a few mentions with these glass build plates to clean the surface with some rubbing alcohol. So I've been doing that, and things have been working really well. Did a couple things since then. Something for Rianne's school project today, and that worked out. So yeah, that's where we're at. Few upgrades, one kind of big mistake, and we learned from it, and off we go. So that's where we're at, folks. We'll catch you next time. Peace.